All right, good evening, San Antonio. Carlo Rodriguez here with Live and On Scene. We are live and on scene now at the second verse poetry reading tonight featuring Neo Soul Poetry Slam. So we are super excited to be out here. Thank you to Glow, Naomi Williams, and everyone else, Andrea Vocab, everybody who put this thing together this evening and certainly allowed us to come out and bring you some of it live to you guys. It's a really standing room only at this point. There are, I think, all the seats are taken. So if you do want to come by, you'll have to more than likely end up standing up for a while, which is not the worst thing in the world because the talent here is off the chain and super awesome. So we're gonna go ahead and take you guys inside so that you can kind of see a little bit about what's going on. Okay.
What they need to do is get Tony's nuts and put them in their mouth. Yeah. So she is squared up. She takes cash. She takes pesos. I think she got some yen. Y'all gonna see her get something delicious and delectable for your mouth. All right, we're gonna keep it moving. We got another 5 points. It's all 5 points. I don't know what you're talking about. It's all 5 points on the list tonight. So we got my homegirl coming this way. I'm just gonna let her come up here. She's an artist, she's a teacher, she's a beautiful spirit and a poet. Y'all get up for me. She got shells on no editorial.
Virginia Martinez, thank you so much for joining us live.
I love that. Yes, ma'am.
Appreciate the thumbs up. Virginia, if you guys are watching us, make sure that you share. Let's let everybody know about this wonderful event tonight.
Hey, get in that thing. Let's get close.
In light of everything that's been going on in the country, that we experience every day.
You guys are just joining us. We are live at the second verse poetry reading tonight out at the Continental Cafe, 35 and Rittman. And if you are out and about trying to find a really cool place to come out, I definitely encourage you to come on out and check this out.
There's a black woman hair magazine based in Atlanta that I recently did an interview with. She wanted to learn a bit about how to help education. Pick one of these up and goes to my pocket or help me pay for some. Check me out. This one's called White Privilege. Purpose, by virtue of law, to cause deprivation of common courtesy, having power to deliberately make false statements with intent to deceive, advantageous of favorable judgment despite culpability. White power, white power, white power. My block is hot. I literally got heat in my streets. I give an example if you insist. Corner dwellers don't make lists, but use bullets to add to the coroner's list. Don't step on the crack.
Pete Reyna, thank you so much for joining us. Hopefully you guys enjoy the content tonight. It's going to be really awesome. We've got a lot of good talent out here tonight.
Ain't the Red Sea, just 40 P's of red tees. And 39 cool colors opposite them blue trim. Blue rims, blue Tims, you'll have blue limbs if you don't win. Gaines got more chains than American slave ships equipped with the intent to kill, still destroy, don't call it bluff. Overtime don't pay enough, so cops get television cuts. Incomes breed out the weed they see. Green turns the boys in blue. Badges in the passport to the store and still legally. Guns issued, so they pop them off freely. Bullets fly like swarm of bees. I wonder how many is allergic to these. I'm talking cold-blooded killers who claim to be Christian. I'm talking closed curtains, no inhibition. I'm talking Malice Green, Detroit, Michigan. I'm talking no, not the Simpsons. The quickest way to multiply is by division. My hood seems to be split like an incision. Broken black on the left side of the tracks by unanimous decision. The fork in my road has a gun shop and a liquor store on either side. So I'm destined to die. I'm destined to cry. Each tear a raindrop that falls from the storm in my sky. No need for an alarm, cause if it ain't hustlers, my house gets jacked by vendors. If it ain't hustlers, my car gets jacked by vendors. Mother selling food stamps to get a fix. Daughter's legs are forced open, she's only 6. Father's not at home on the corner slinging bricks, inadvertently teaching his son the same tricks. No form of protection, no he's sick. I know I'm not the only one who comes from a place like this. Our entire family will perish if we continue to cherish places like this. We got to raise the hell up out of places like this and change our mentals. Can't move and still hold on, that's crucial. We got a generation coming up who's stuck because we setting traps. Like sports and rap is the only way to make it. Education, build it, and replace the places that generate hate. Politicians making the rules, we need to start wearing suits. Get in the boot and run it like Ernie Davis. Had one foot in the door, then he paved the way for us.
Well, you can make us you don't even know. Because all in here thinking we asked me to. All right. So speed check again for real this time. We need them. It's 3 up here. Y'all, this is from Texas. Let's see where you get wet. Come on up. Who needs seats? Y'all giving them my trainers working her sexy stuff up here. This is Veronica Leno. We do a program called Real Weight Loss. It's a spiritual approach to weight loss, getting the weight off your body and your mind and your spirit and all that stuff, like real talk. That's what we do. And she's phenomenal nutrition and working out and all that stuff. So see her because we're working it and doing that thing. You gotta see right. Sidebar. All right. All right, we're gonna keep it moving. I'm trying to kill y'all. I'm trying to lay y'all out dead. I'm going to bring another 5 poet up here. Another one. So we got Austin in the house, Neo Souls in the house. So we got the team coming up as our feature, but within that, there are these amazing individual poets. So you didn't realize this, but when you come in the month of June and July, we try to give you teams. If you're not familiar with the whole slam thing, basically slam is a poetry competition. People compete all year long and they get selected to be on these teams in most major cities. And then they go to competition in August and it's all these teams kind of hashing it out and then there's a winner. Well, in June and July, we try to have those teams here in Second Verse so they can make some money in efforts to go to nationals. So we have 2 teams here. Our feature is Neo Soul, which is the Austin Slam team. There is also a slam thing that's for the under 21. So we're talking about teenagers up to the age of 21. And so we have an organization here in San Antonio called Fresh Ink. Fresh Ink is in the building. Lena is my baby. She goes to San Houston High School, so we spent some time together. It's amazing. I'm a hurricane because I'm Cherokee, y'all hurricane. I'll be mixing it together. Hurricane. So we support support them, and these babies be writing, and they be 17. I mean, sometimes it breaks my heart, the stuff they be writing about in the pain and whatever, but it's amazing. So we support them in their endeavor. They got t-shirts, they got products, and we want to support them in their efforts to get to their national competition too. So we're gonna do all that. But I said all that to say this: there is a member of the Neo Soul team that's about to come to this mic. He has been one of my favorites for many, many years. He's dope. This dude used to have a house. He used to have house parties, baby friend. You don't do it no more? He got old, trying to act all funny and brand new. But he used to have a house party at his house. And we be spitting poetry upstairs, downstairs, without mics, just hollering out poetry. And it was amazing. I used to love that stuff. But he's a phenomenal poet in his own right. Y'all get up right now for Mr. B. Fred. Hey,
Oh my God!
what's going on, second verse? Yo, good, man? Yo! No! Yo!
Don't fuck it up.
Right here.
Baby, love you.
I'm gonna sing a song for you. And Bill's gonna tell you a thing or two. We'll have some fun now with me and all the gang bang, learning from each other while Will does his thing. Nah, 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 Bill's gonna have a good time. Nah, 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 Bill's gonna have a good time. Bill Cosby said, women don't want to hear what you think. They want to hear what they think, but in a deeper voice. And not so famous folk from the soon-to-be, I believe, famous favorites. Michelle Covington and Sean Brown, I'm sorry. Like so many people, I thought you were gold diggers and models. I used to good man. I mean, Bill Cosby, and he was all jello pudding and no pop, jello tarts. If you're looking for the tenor in the choir, and here I am. Because I led the course of How Dare You Accuse Mr. The man who gave us Theo Huxtable each the creation of his imaginary genius. I couldn't imagine this genius drugging, raping, and then just sending you on your way, Barbara Bowen. I was the polyester suit wearing jailhouse lawyer that convicted you in the court of public opinion with my single silver bullet of a question. Why they wait so fucking long? See, that's the opening and closing argument that so many of us raised in defense of the honorable Dr. But if I've learned anything in my 50+ years, is that wrong questions always get wrong answers. So can I ask you a question of Bill? Why did she fucking rape? Right. These little girls, Michelle Hurd and Lyndon Crates, only 19 years old. Martin Shapiro was just 17 years old. They looked up to you just like I did. I mean, Bill, they were starry-eyed well before you drugged them. And the truth is, I didn't know them, so I didn't want to believe them. And I thought I knew you, but I didn't. So please forgive me, Victoria Valentina, for believing that this actor was actually the words he carefully scripted for himself. I mean, in a way, we were all Huxtable. But you were raped with Tina Gold. For you, he was a different world. I mean, the Bill Cosby we grew up with, he was like the Harriet Tubman of the Black Empowerment movement.
All right.
Underground railroading blacks in the white homes through the TVs and into
Cynthia Grayson, thank you so much for joining us. Appreciate you. And Shantana Robinson, thank you so much for sharing our video.
As you can shoot yourself how to act and how not to rape Regina Gomes. And for that, Regina, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for doubting the truth and believing this could be impossible. Linda Neal, you didn't deserve this. There's no joke in how he treated you. Linda Brown, I am sorry for every punchline and mean that you were raping. Bill Cosby said that there are 2 sides to every story, and sometimes 3, 4, and 5. Bill, I just gave you 14 sides and counting that says you raped. So Mr. Jello Pudding Pop, Mr. Einstein, Mr. Hey, hey.
All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us live here, live and on scene at the Second Verse Poetry Slam. And we've got a lot of great talent that is coming up. This is just the beginning, guys, so thanks for tuning in and more importantly for sharing this. Cynthia Grayson, thanks again. Pete Brayna, Virginia Martinez, Shantana Robinson, thank you all for joining us live. Make sure you share this post, give us some feedback, and if you have any questions, I'll be glad to field them and try to get you answers as quickly as I can.
My other homies in the building, just in case you didn't know, we don't really just broadcast and have our security all uniformed up, but we do have security in the building. Our homies from Peacekeeping Martial Arts are in the building, y'all clap it up. If you need some defense classes, or you like the whole kind of kickboxing workout, they got all that stuff. They do kids classes, they do everything. It's a family business, they are phenomenal. Everybody back there, black belt.
John David De Leon, thank you so much for joining us live here at Second Verse Poetry Slam.
I say it all the time, I mean it all the time. We call them Team FUFO, because FUFO stands for F up and find out. For all your martial arts needs, please see for the Team FUFO, they will definitely get you squared away, we promise. All right, we're gonna switch it up. Second Verse is primarily a poetry venue, but we love artistry of all forms. We've had singers, comedians, we've had people dance, we've had actors do monologues, we've had short snippets of plays. We love it all. So what we're gonna do right now, we've been giving you some poetry. We're gonna bring a singer up, and I'm kind of trying to give him my eye. I'm trying to kind of give him my eye, so he knows I'm talking to him. So we got a singer coming this way. Just got back from Miami. All right. Little cruise ship.
Nancy Blake, thank you so much for joining us. John David, Cynthia Grayson, Pete Brayna, Virginia Martinez, thank you all for your support. For those of you that are just joining us, we are live and on scene at the Second Verse Poetry Slam here at the Continental Cafe. That's Center.
We will have decide. We decide. You not ready? You ready, Joe? Y'all get up right down for this sexy chocolate kiss bag. You ready for everything, ladies? It's a slow thing.
Come on, Kings, stand up and give yourself some love. Everybody got to give yourself, King. Look at the King there. Give yourself some love. Give yourself some love. See, the problem is right now, we don't give each other the recognition that we deserve, amen? How can we talk about it, somebody? Kings, you know, if you cut the head off, the body falls.
You're right about it.
I need these kings to stand up one more time and give yourself some love. Come on, kings. My sisters, my cousins. Right now, we need all of y'all, all right? I ain't gonna leave you for you long. I'm waiting on singing. But I'm trying to get into this poetry. I'm trying to write a little something. So I'm gonna give y'all a little something that I can start it, all right? Is that all right? All right. This word is called When I Stare. She smiles when I stare, unknowingly that it's not the curves in her hips, the thickness of her thighs, the fullness of her breast that I find mesmerizing. But it's the confidence in the walk. Each step she silently screams, I found me and I love her. Repelling negativity as if it were a superpower, unaffected by the jealous stares and the harsh words carried by those friends with friendly faces and forked tongues meant to make her frown. But she smiles when I stare. She thinks I'm spellbound by the warmth of her eye, unaware that it's a mind that captivates me, completely attentive as she speaks directly to my soul, as she shares her beliefs on political issues, even opening my mind up to the spoken memories of society. As she explains to me everything, from why John F. Kennedy was killed, Who really killed Biggie and Pac? And why Fruit Loops taste so damn good when it gets soggy in milk. I'm hooked as I watch the thoughts of her mind drip from her softness in her lips. But damn, she smiles when I stare. Why? Because now she's standing next to me. She believes that it's the intoxication of her fragrance that draws me in closer. She doesn't know that I stand in anticipation, awaiting her exhale, that I may breathe her in and sweet her very essence, so that she will become part of who I am.
Yeah.
I watch her as the sun warms her voice. The sweat that runs from the base of her neck, slowly caressing her collarbone and making its way to the softness of her cheek. My desire for her intensifies as I crave to be that deed of sweat, as it mixes and sits behind the lining of her clothing, as if the sun was setting upon her back. Beautiful, says the Lord. And yet she smiles when I stare, finally asking, "Who are you looking at?" And my reply, open the family.
All right, guys, if you're just joining us, we are live and on scene here at the Second Verse Poetry Slam Continental Event Center, our cafe, on San Antonio's northeast part of town. So we're having a blast out here. We appreciate your support. Stick around, guys. We're going to have lot more talent coming up here in just a bit. Thank you for joining us.
Because he can sing too. But I was remiss, I got called to the I didn't introduce some of the awesome people, well, the awesome people that are also a part of Second Verse. Y'all get up for Kent, we call it FYI. That's the good, he makes sure everybody sounds just right, but out here, ain't none of this happening. And y'all get up for my awesome, beautiful sister friend, co-host, poet in love and friendship. Y'all, that's no have. She's coming up. I can already tell it, it's going to be amazing. Amazing. All right, so we're going to keep it moving. What I'm going to do now, we're going to kind of get y'all ready for some group pieces. We got some group pieces coming up with our feature, Neo Soul, the slam team out of Austin. But like I was telling you, we've also got the Fresh Ink team here as well. Again, they are getting ready for nationals. They are going to the Under 21 Slam. We do want you to be able to support them in any way you can. If you can't actually buy,
Hey, brother.
y'all ball in the shoe.
So Leslie Blake, Joanna Garcia, Delgado, Pete Reina, Ruby Rojas, Carmen Rodriguez, Virginia Martinez, Cecilia Sosa. Thank you guys so much for tuning in live. We're here live and on scene here at the Second Verse Poetry Reading. And you can actually still come by. There's plenty of room. It's going to be standing room only, but you can still get out here and enjoy the rest of the talent. So. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and attempt to try to get a little bit closer. So if we drop off, I'll go ahead and restart the broadcast. Excuse me.
On June 28, 2016, the FDA approved Epclusa, the first drug to cure all 6 strains of hepatitis C.
Untreated, this virus looks like the skin itching to become a yellow-painted sunset. Feels like somber silence filled with fatigue and taste buds forever thirsty for a cure. A quest that will only end in empty pockets.
The cure can be purchased from Gilead Sciences Incorporated for $900 per pill.
They claim that they are just victims of a system, forced to set prices according to similar drugs on the market.
Like Turning Pharmaceuticals, who infamously raised the price of their AIDS medication by 5,000% in September of 2015.
Determining who can afford to live should not be a game of follow the leader.
The Gilead Code of Ethics mandates fair dealing in all instances.
Tell me, have you ever had to watch someone you loved die in interval? Yellow is revered as a happy color, but how do I smile when that's all I can see in their lifeless eyes? Have you ever had to watch sickness creep onto their skin much faster than a cure ever will because they can't afford it? Because their life was not deemed valuable enough to save, do you consider this fair?
The Gilead Code of Ethics condemns discrimination based on race.
But you don't condemn social Darwinism.
Gender.
Taking advantage of those who can barely afford not to turn their culture out having only worsened their condition. Saving the same treatments for the more profitable prospects, you treat those with Medicare as slabs of meat, as simple guinea pigs, as mere rodents. You line them up and call them by their patient
We are
number,
live and on
bottle
scene here
feed them your
at the Continental Cafe and Event Center
experiments.
off of
Turning
Ritterman
people down
and
when their
Fairfield.
pockets aren't deep enough for your lifeline.
The June Gilead press release stated that headache and fatigue are the most common negative reactions to Epclusa.
You failed to mention the devastation when the only legacy a mother can leave her child is a virus. Tell me, do the thousands of infants born with HCV deserve it? Do you think they ask for their birth certificate to double as their death certificate?
An investigator in the Epclusa trials referred to the approval of the drug as an important step forward in the global effort to eliminate HCV.
This drug may be a scientific breakthrough, but you cannot call it a global step forward when only a small portion of the population can afford it.
Gilead's CEO was quoted saying, "This is just the best price for the system and the company."
But what about the consumer this pill is supposed to be for? You are not taking advantage of the system. You are taking advantage of the nearly 3 million Americans that need your products.
Epclusa is cheaper than Gilead's previous HCV drug, which was commonly referred to as the $1,000 pill.
But the full treatment of Epclusa costs $75,000. That's more than the average American's yearly salary. This miracle drug seems to be working most of its wonders on your paycheck.
Despite making their products more affordable, Gilead's stock value rose 5% the afternoon Epclusa was approved by the FDA.
But just imagine how astounding your stock value would be if it was based off of your body count. We are sick of you making our livelihood a business. A priceless human life now worth $75,000 in your hands. I wonder if it would still be fun playing God when you have outlived all of your patients.
Hey guys, how you doing tonight? Good? Great. So those are my babies, and I ask that you do support them. That was their very first time performing at home, like they just wrote it a week ago. So when you say new shit, you mean new shit! So we're working it out, and a lot of the poets, you see they're working out these poems, man. Competition is so much pressure and so much nerves involved. And so knowing that you're sitting behind you, it means everything. They just went to Bryan College Station and placed second at stand-up speak out. So I'm going to bring up a poet at this time. There's going to be a prayer and observance ceremony tomorrow at 11 o'clock at Travis Park. And so I'm going to bring up a poet that is going to speak to that. He's going to do an announcement about it, but he's also going to speak a little bit. So if you want to start coming this way, come on, sir. This man has it's funny how, if you grew up in a black church, at some point, some shaky-voiced old person came up to you and said, you got a call on your life. You need to stop running. This man is not running from his call. He has answered the call that God has put out there in the universe for him. And so I'm going to bring him to the stage. Mr. Jonathan's coming this way right now. He's going to talk to you about.
What's up, yo? This is so loud. This is actually my first time coming to second grade. So I'm gonna do some poetry first, and then we're gonna move forward with everything else. I always like to give my disclaimer though. The poet in me enjoys the snaps and the claps, but the minister in me prays that you only hear the message. So I always ask that you don't listen with your ears or your eyes, but listen with your heart. I'm just jumping to the poem. Actually, no, I'm not gonna jump to the poem. So how many of y'all know that we're creating Black history right now? I mean, it's cool and awesome. I read the books, and it's awesome. But if Martin was still alive, he would, I can guarantee you, like, there's still work to be done. It didn't stop with him. We're still creating Black history at this time. So this poem kind of speaks to that. I want to be speaking with the language that's of our generation, but I'll be speaking from the context of a slave. But so I'm just go ahead and jump into it. So I would like to introduce myself, but I haven't developed any ads yet, so take what you can about what and where I am from my web address. www.blackhistory-freedom.com. World wars waging stops. Black history's dash to freedom backslash at the backslash stop. Come on, man. Hashtag pain, hashtag bloody, hashtag neglected, hashtag forgotten. Hashtag broken, hashtag slaughtered. Hashtag remember me. Hashtag we fought, hashtag we made it, hashtag we're here. Hashtag where? Hashtag oh no. Hashtag did we make it or did we just get close? You see, I'm no longer around, but I progress with age, so though I'm no longer around, you can still look at my page. Because I made my mark in history. And I had to catch up with videos since sending a private message couldn't get anyone to listen to me. But you'll always be able to find me amongst the chains. I'm following link after link. As my ancestors fight a war meant for the divines, writing down their pains, passions, and fears, time after time, just to have it all produce guaranteed million hits from the vine. See, I was forced to watch children whip their mind. Now here's a tough thought to swallow. Imagine me, passion tagged beneath the scorching sun, then praying that my wife and children would follow. Because it was less about segregation and more about separation. Because I can endure this if I just had my people. But as my friends list unwillingly started to dwindle, I got away from pure evil. And just as slowly as these long days, my family became nothing more than a page. See, the very next time I saw my wife was on a posted picture. The caption read, sold, slave. And as time progressed, oppressive turned aggressive and war approached faster than you could search for someone's name, so no longer were we concerned about if our profiles would change. It was strange. It wasn't until I got my face in that book that I was finally able to read my post. I said, not until I got my deceased face in that book was I finally able to leave my post. You see, I was forced to fight a war from a country that had yet to recognize me as a man. A human. All because of my hue. Man. That's crazy. I have to check the statuses lately. Tagged in comments daily degraded by distant, daunting demons with pale faces, never knowing what to say or think, not even knowing that I was dislocated. So you see, we never had dyslexia. It was displacement. But unlike now, no one was ever able to look at a page about me. All the while, everything about me could only be seen by looking at my racial profile. And I couldn't leave you any notes to read, so all I could afford to do was leave you with Instagraphic pictures in desperate hope that you follow me. But just know that in order for us to stay on track, I have to forewarn you that I'll never be able to follow you back. Because forward progression is key. And I once relished the thought of a day where my people look nothing like me. But my eyes begin to swell as I scroll down my page and see that our status hasn't changed. The majority still reads slave. So imagine me, amazed, as I saw a brother stand up on the stage and preach about change. But that's where it gets strange, because though most of us agree, we still act the exact same. Yellow, right? We only live once. And with that much, I agree. But knowing that you know that is exactly why I'm ashamed by what I see, is this truly what you decided to do with your life? Never once were we given the pleasure to be concerned about the report of our status being liked. All I cared about was that the report of our status would be right. So instead of following the roles of world stars, hip-hop your way to purpose. We were forced to live a life of slavery, but now I see people doing so on purpose. I've been following your videos closely. The constant reposting of excuses is getting old. Are you not aware that the average life expectancy of blacks at my time was 22 years old? We had already spent our lives in the same amount of time that it takes you to waste it. Constant laughing and knockout games and sharp quiches, all promoting the very one thing that we sought to abolish: hatred. So stop searching for your problems in your book and just face them. Many of you are confused about what to do, but the answer is so basic. Bring the love and stop the hatred. Don't just believe in change, help us make it. Someone needs to draw the line and trace it. This is your story now. Your future and your life. Many of you are watching your own people do wrong to pacify your own sins or telling that it's all right, but we're willing to be ostracized before we compromise so you can spare me your lives. But I'd appreciate it if you share. I came in search of a generation that cares. You compromised your dreams so much that I think you'd have some to spare. Started from the bottom, now we're here. Where? Started from the bottom that got us here when we need to be out there. You see, there was once a time that, like the sweetest birds that sing, I heard freedom ring. And I wonder if I can get a retweet. We wholeheartedly appreciate your monuments and celebrations. People know what we did, that's no mystery. We become so concerned with our past, you forget about the future status of Black history. Alright, I gotta talk business. So, we all know what's been happening. And some of y'all don't know me, some of y'all do. I recognize some of y'all. Like Vocab was mentioning, I'm every bit of an activist. It's in my bloodstream. But tomorrow I'm hosting a gathering at 11 a.m. It's a vigil and a prayer, but it's also a call to action. And it's gonna be big. I mean, and this sounds crazy. I literally have Lieutenant of SAPD calling me this morning, asking me questions about my intentions. And CNN and news reporters asking me like what's going down. So it's about to be real. Things are getting real right now. Especially after Dallas, we already know things are about to get real. So my thing is, I have this quote that I live by. Obligation will threaten that if I don't act, I will be in trouble. But responsibility will say that if I don't act, they will be in trouble. And so it's not your job, it's not your obligation to get involved and get engaged with these issues, but it is your responsibility. Because if you don't, somebody else is in trouble. So with that being said, I just wanted to give out some information. I don't have any flyers, unfortunately. But if anybody wants to pull out their phones about, y'all want to know the address where we're going to be at, it is Travis Park, but I do have the address on my phone, so give you like 10 seconds to get your phones out. I think we got like that fingerprint thing, so it doesn't take that long. All right, ready? It's, if y'all don't got it, then get it from somebody. I'm trying to spend all the time up here. So it's going to be 301 East Travis Street, 78. Give me a second, I'm probably going. 78205. That's the zip code. Please come out. It's going to be a big deal. And that's all I can do is ask y'all to come out. Your presence is noted.
Guys, if you're just joining us, we are live and on scene here at the Second Verse Poetry Slam at the Continental Event and Event Center and Cafe, I believe is what the whole title is. But in any event, we're having a great time listening to some true artists, very gifted artists.
Like every time
And we're just scratching the surface, so continue to tune in and share. And let's get as many people to watch this important information as possible.
Quickly walking.
And yes, art is important.
Thank you, Jonathan, for that. All right, so I'm going to call another poet. Introduction. I don't know. Okay, I've never heard. I don't think I've ever heard this poet. So she may be a purge. She's been here for a while. It's just been years. It's been a while. It's been a while. So this next poet prefers Velcro over buttons. This next poet prefers wood paneling over texture walls. This next poet is coming and you will clap. Please start clapping for Shotzi! Okay, so it has been literally, what, 2 years? Okay, 3. Okay, check it. This is my homie with the clap on each syllable. She used to light this place up, and I don't care if it was provocative or it was spiritual. I don't give a damn. She would come up here and she would kill it. She's about to kill it right now. I don't give a damn when she's talking. I don't care if she read the phone book. She's gonna kill it. I see your shoe game. Shush.
Okay, but no pressure. No pressure. You got it. That's my grandma. Yeah, you can close your ears and listen. So everyone's been talking, Black power and love and all that. So I'm gonna change it up a little bit. So church people don't judge me. If you do, this poem is about you. So the name of my poem is LDE. That stands for Little Dick Niggas. Expecting not to sweat. You better have 3 + 6 if you even think about getting this pussy wet. If you want some ass, there will be a hand test that you have to pay. Yeah, I went there, sisters, because you see, for so long we have been stroking their ego. Well, if you're a little dick nigga, then you gotta go. I'll tell you right now, I ain't got to take no nut, and I'm not saying it to be mean. You should be pissed off at your daddy for giving you that little dick nigga. My pussy is big nigga. You might have to pop one of them purple pills. If you don't handle this, I know about 4 or 5 other niggas that will. So ladies, don't be scared to snap your fingers and clap your hands. Because your dude sitting to your left or to your right. Y'all can look around, it's okay. Now he knows the truth when you tell him you got a headache at night. Dude beside you, Hits with me is where your judging needs to be. So, look at you, sitting over there, arms all crossed and mad. Because what I'm saying is true. Well, if you pissed off, obviously this woman's about you.
Okay, who did I say I was gonna call? Y'all, this poet. Okay, so she was here last month. She is a part of the Puro San team. Like we told you, we represent the team. The Puro is the San Antonio. Clap it up for hometown. This particular poet, she's amazing, just all by herself. I think I told her the story, but I saw her at DECO a few weeks ago, maybe a couple of months ago, and she did a poem. I literally, and I don't do this, but it was so deep, and she was taking me so many places, I had to stop listening. I said, you know what, I'm just gonna watch it move in my head before she had me catching the Holy Ghost. But she is a phenomenal poet. She's a phenomenal person, and I just love her spirit and her energy. So y'all get her right now from Miss Diamond Mason. I love her hair too. I look like her. Yeah, she don't realize you behind the diamond. Just keep still. Just keep still.
So not only am I a member of the Puro San team, I'm also one of the coaches for the Fresh Ink team. New shit. This poem is entitled Songs My Mother Sang Me to Sleep With, aka An Ode to the Way We Break. Wade in the water, wade in the water, children, wade in the water. God's own trouble in the water. Have you ever started something other than a fire? Brought light without destroying what was once there, not the darkness. Just something you refuse to see without the film of smoke, without the ash across its face to make it holy when you send it home. This place is home to us. It is where our hearts reside when our bodies are out seeking refuge. It is where we come back to when we have nowhere else to go. Its soil has kept us fed, nourished our hearts, and its love runs wild in our veins, unassuming and untamed. This place, it is sacred. Here we occupy a space with our Creator. Love has made us all whole, made us all a part of something outside of ourselves. I know it's hard to recognize a holy place when it has been treated like a campsite, but try to see past the burn marks whose masters have settled here, who would claim killing as the light necessary to see through the darkness they are constantly surrounded by. My country is becoming a campsite. The south degree bottom, all the ash settles in, surrounded by stone hearts to keep the fires from spreading. It is habit now to set a flame in this place. Generations of flint and stone claim my home is just another place to burn. A few more fags on the fire to keep themselves warm at night, and unfamiliar places where the flames cast long shadows that dance like they're demons. Are you sure that this was the light your creator spoke so fondly of? Or were you too busy being entranced by the sound of the land cracking beneath your light to listen to the screams of the steam rushes out from the trees split open by flames? Listen to the screams of the blood pours out from the bodies of brutes you give no